Your mind has been lied to. You were told success takes luck, struggle, and endless waiting. That thinking keeps you trapped in repetition and frustration. It doesn't have to be this way. This video will break those limits and show you how to activate your mind for instant manifestation, using powerful meditation practices that actually work. You will learn 10 precise, actionable steps, awaken your inner power, align thoughts and feelings with quantum flow, release limiting belief, focus your mind with clarity, embody resilience, visualize your highest self, activate deep meditations, integrate daily rituals, trust the quantum field, and manifest continuous evolution. Each step rewires the subconscious, amplifies energy, and transforms your reality. Stay until the end to master all 10 practices and create unstoppable momentum. Subscribe to this quantum audiobook channel now. Every audio unlocks your mind, rewires perception, and gives you tools that change life permanently. Number 1. Awaken your inner power to instantly shift reality daily. Awaken now to a simple, undeniable truth that lives beneath thought and habit, and waits for permission to grow into power. Feel the pulse beneath the ribs, the shifting air in the throat, the small, steady engine of attention, and know that this is the place where reality answers you. A single sentence from a wise voice can cut through fog and open a door. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard. Let that line rest in the chest like a lighthouse beam and allow it to orient the body, mind, and day ahead. The work begins not in frantic wanting or wishful thinking, but in quiet, precise alignment between feeling and attention. When feeling and attention move together, clarity appears, and the field responds. Reality is not distant, it is a responsive echo of lived inner tone. Change the tone, change the echo. Begin by returning to the body now. Breathe into the belly deeply, and slowly track where attention naturally settles. Notice any stiffness, heat, or tightness, and invite a soft, curious energy to examine that sensation. Breathe with intention, not with force. Each inhale brings presence, each exhale releases story. Presence tunes the nervous system and makes the mind a clear instrument. Practice this breathing 3 times every morning, standing or sitting, and watch stress soften and mental fog lift. This simple opening prepares the system to hold higher vibration and to act with clarity rather than reactivity. Awakening the inner power requires a short daily map that can be done in less than 10 minutes, and that anchors daily life into alignment. Practice Outline 1 is a compact routine that shifts inner state and primes the field for manifestation. Breathe deeply, then scan the body from feet to crown, noticing 5 sensations. Name one sensation out loud, or silently. Feel gratitude for the sensation that signals life. Visualize a single vivid scene that already contains the feeling you want more of. Choose a small, clear detail like warm light on your hands, or the tone of a voice. Hold that scene for 60 seconds while breathing slowly and fully. Take one small visible action that reflects that scene within the next hour, such as sending a short message, making a small adjustment, or standing in a posture that matches the feeling. Repeat this routine midday and before sleep for momentum and coherence. Understand that the mind is an amplifier, not a factory. What you feed with attention grows in tone and texture more than in brute volume. Feed attention with precise sensory images and associated feelings rather than abstract desire. A precise image activates the body as if the event were happening now, and the body in turn broadcasts that signal to the quantum field. This is how intention becomes magnetic. When waking, imagine the day as a series of small lived moments already aligned with your aim. See the way you move the mug, the angle of light, and the inner tone you carry while doing each task. These sensory cues anchor the higher frequency in everyday life, and prevent manifestation from becoming a separate weekend ritual. Move with discipline and compassion simultaneously. Discipline builds pathways in the nervous system. Compassion ensures those pathways are kind, not punitive, so the system will continue to show up. Create a short daily promise, no longer than 5 words, that you can keep without force. Repeat it each morning and again at the first friction of the day. This promise becomes an energetic leash that brings attention home when it wanders. For example, say quietly, "I will choose clarity now," or "I embody calm action." Do not use this promise to shame yourself when you stray. Instead, use it as a signal to return to the body, breathe, and realign. Train attention with small, focused practices rather than long, heroic efforts. Micro practices produce macro shifts because they change the pattern of how attention is used. A micro practice might be opening a drawer slowly and noticing 3 textures deeply, or walking 2 minutes without an internal narrative, only noticing the rhythm of feet. These moments teach the mind to be present and to carry a tone. Each micro practice is a seed that grows coherent. Plant them generously. When coherence becomes habitual, the quantum field answers with visible changes that feel consistent rather than miraculous. Learn to speak to the field in the language it understands, which is feeling, thought, and action combined, not speech alone. Speak in present tense and sensory detail. Replace vague wishes with precise short sentences that contain feeling. Instead of "I want abundance," say "I move through my day with calm, confident abundance." Visualize what calm, confident abundance looks like in posture, voice, and choice. Let the words be a slipstream that the body can follow. The field responds to lived experience, not to abstract wish lists. Use resistance as information, not as failure. When anxiety, doubt, or impatience appear, name them and map their shape. Ask where in the body that tone lives and what small movement or breath changes it. Often a single slow exhale or a brief shift in posture clears the static so the original feeling can return. Resistance often signals a conflicting story that needs attention. Attend to the story with curiosity and small corrective experiences. Each corrected experience rewrites neural expectation and makes future resonance easier. Embody courage by acting on small visible proofs. A visible proof is an action that says to the system, "I am serious about this feeling." It could be showing up early for a call, sending a short, clear message, asking for modest support, or spending 5 focused minutes on a creative task. Visible proofs do not have to be dramatic. They are consistent, tiny confirmations that the inner vision has weight in the outer world. Collect proofs daily and hold them like stones in a pocket. Over time, the pocket becomes heavy, and the world shifts naturally. Cultivate sensory-rich gratitude as an actual practice, not a thought habit. Gratitude textured with sensation becomes a frequency that the field recognizes. Notice one thing each hour that supports you and feel it fully. Describe it in 3 sensory words, for example. Sun on skin, warm, steady, or coffee, steam, soft, bitter. Describe rather than judge. These small acts of noticing build an inner archive of evidence and raise baseline vibration. The archive trains the mind to find alignment rather than lack. Anchor alignment with a tactile ritual that signals meaning to the body. Use a small object, a ring, a stone, a brief touch on the chest, or a posture change as an anchor. At first, use the anchor during the short practice routine, and then intermittently during the day to call the feeling back. The anchor serves as an energetic bookmark, so the body remembers what coherence felt like. When stress rises, the anchor acts as a return path back to present tone. Emphasize integration over perfection. Wakefulness is a practice, not a trophy. When distraction or doubt occurs, notice it, acknowledge it, and move on. Each return to presence strengthens the muscle of attention. The single act of returning is the essence of resilience. Over months, this repeated returning is what sculpts a life that aligns with deeper aim. Finally, create a ritual of closure each night that consolidates the day's proof and repairs any loose threads. Spend 5 minutes noting 3 small things that went well, and 1 small lesson to carry. Breathe into the chest, and feel a sense of completion. Completion signals to the field that energy can move forward, and that the day has been integrated. Sleep becomes an active partner in manifestation because the nervous system rests in trust. This chapter is a call to the body as much as the mind. Power activates when feeling and attention align and when daily life becomes the practice field. Begin with breath, then train attention, then act in small visible proofs, then anchor the feeling in the body, and finally close with completion. These steps create momentum and convert intention into lived reality. Move with steady courage and tender discipline. The field responds to your coherent tone more quickly than imagined, because you are not inventing power. You are waking to what has always been present. Stand with that truth in the center of the day and carry the tiny daily practices as signs of devotion. The world will answer not because of force, but because of resonance, and because you chose to become a clear instrument of your own unfolding. Number 2. Align your thoughts and feelings with abundant quantum flow. Align your inner world with the invisible currents that carry possibility and notice how life itself begins to echo your intentions. Imagine thought and feeling as 2 rivers flowing together into one larger current, shaping the landscape of your experience with every moment you choose presence over distraction. There is a simple but profound truth in the words of Deepak Chopra. What you pay attention to grows. Let attention not wander into worry or old stories. Instead, direct it deliberately toward what feels expansive, joyful, and alive. The quantum field does not separate thought from emotion. It responds to the coherence of both combined. When mind and heart pulse together with intention, reality responds as naturally as light bending to a prism. Begin by sensing your emotional tone now. Scan the body from the crown to the soles of the feet, and ask quietly what feeling dominates. Do not judge it. Simply notice its presence. Acknowledge it as a signal, not a verdict. Then imagine a tone of abundance, calm, or clarity filling the same space. Let it spread slowly, like sunlight moving across a room. This simple act shifts the energy of the body, which in turn tunes the mind to a higher frequency. It is in these moments of alignment that subtle possibilities begin to emerge. Create a daily practice that anchors thought and feeling together. Sit quietly for 5 minutes and picture a single desired outcome. Visualize not only the scene but also the sensation it evokes, the warmth, the movement, the sound, the energy it carries. Allow yourself to feel it in the chest, the hands and the feet. Breathe deeply and intentionally as though drawing that feeling into every cell. Then take one small aligned action that embodies this state. It may be as simple as sending a kind message, completing a small task with love, or adjusting your posture to reflect confidence. Action channels alignment into reality. It signals to the field that coherence is not theoretical but embodied. Understand that misalignment is not failure but a compass. When frustration or doubt arises, feel it fully and let it speak without resistance. Identify where in the body the tension resides, and breathe into it with curiosity. Often releasing a tight jaw, loosening the shoulders, or softening the chest, shifts energy instantaneously. The field does not respond to force but to clarity, ease and resonance. By responding to inner signals with care and awareness, you calibrate your inner state, allowing abundance to flow naturally. Pay close attention to language, both internal and external. Every word carries energy. Replace scarcity-laden self-talk with phrases that feel expansive and true. Instead of saying I hope or I wish, say I allow, I move with, or I feel. These words are not mere semantics. They are energetic markers that signal the field to adjust. Visualize the desired state as fully present while speaking, feeling and moving in its truth. Coherence grows when the body, mind, and words operate in concert. Engage your senses deliberately to deepen alignment. During quiet moments, notice 3 things that feel abundant around you: the sunlight on your skin, the taste of food, or the sound of movement outside. Engage fully using sight, touch, hearing, smell, and even the subtle felt sense of presence. Each sensory act strengthens your vibrational alignment and trains the system to detect abundance rather than absence. In the quantum field, the simplest acts of noticing are often the most profound catalysts for change. A powerful practice is to create a feeling map daily. Take 5 minutes in the morning or evening and list 5 emotions currently present. Beside each, note a small action or thought that could elevate or harmonize the state. For example, if anxiety is present, a deliberate stretch, a slow breath, or a soft sound can shift it. If gratitude arises, amplify it by expressing it in words or gestures. The act of mapping and consciously adjusting strengthens coherence between thought and feeling, making it easier for the field to respond to aligned intention. Remember that patience is not passive. It is a form of active alignment. The field responds to consistent resonance rather than hurried expectation. Each moment spent cultivating inner alignment builds momentum. Each breath, each choice, each small act of coherence is a signal sent into the field, a message that your attention and feeling are united and ready to receive. Even subtle improvements compound into profound transformation. Over time, the mind learns to settle quickly into states that generate opportunity, synchronicity, and creativity. Avoid scattering attention across too many desires or worries. The quantum field mirrors clarity. Narrow focus combined with feeling amplifies manifestation. Select one priority or intention each morning and immerse in its sensory experience. Feel it in the chest, see it in precise detail, and move the body as if it already exists. Take at least one small tangible step that aligns outward behavior with inner coherence. This integration of thought, feeling, and action produces a tangible ripple in daily life that accumulates into visible results. Practice embodiment through movement. Motion aligns energy with intention faster than thought alone. A simple daily routine of stretching or walking while maintaining mental and emotional focus on your desired state strengthens the mind-body connection. Visualize each step or gesture as a signal sent to the field, each breath as a thread weaving your attention and emotion together. Physical embodiment anchors the invisible currents into the tangible world, making alignment not just a concept, but a lived experience. Finally, end each day with reflection and gratitude. Observe moments where thought and feeling align successfully, no matter how small. Feel the satisfaction and joy that arises from coherence. Recognize resistance or misalignment without judgment and note opportunities for recalibration tomorrow. Gratitude not only reinforces alignment but also signals to the field that energy is harmonious, completing a full cycle of conscious resonance. This reflection ensures that alignment becomes habitual rather than sporadic, creating a daily rhythm of quantum flow that strengthens over time. Aligning thoughts and feelings with abundant quantum flow is the practice of coherent living. It is the conscious act of uniting mind and heart, so that every choice, every breath, and every gesture carries signal into the field. Begin each day with breath, sensory attention, and a clear desired state. Map feelings, take small aligned actions, move the body, and close with reflection and gratitude. Over time, this practice generates momentum that feels effortless yet profound, a life moving in resonance with its deepest intentions. Reality is no longer distant or arbitrary. It is the reflection of your coherent tone, your practiced alignment, and your consistent inner resonance. The field does not demand struggle, it responds to clarity, coherence, and the elegance of integrated thought and feeling. As you inhabit these practices, each moment becomes both practice and proof, creating a rhythm of alignment that radiates outward into every experience. Presence, intention, and coherent feeling combine to generate opportunities, synchronicities, and transformations that cannot be ignored. With patience, discipline, and awareness, life becomes a living mirror of inner coherence, and the quantum flow becomes a natural extension of daily existence, carrying abundance, clarity, and purpose into every aspect of being. Number 3. Release limiting beliefs and embrace infinite possibilities effortlessly now. Release now every story that has kept you small and notice the weight lifting from the chest as possibility expands around you. Every limiting belief is a habit of thought, a pattern that the mind repeats because it is familiar, not because it is true. You are not the sum of your past conclusions. You are the conscious creator of every present moment. Eckhart Tolle once said, "The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation but your thoughts about it." Let this resonate through the body. Every contraction, tension, and hesitation is informed by a story you no longer need to carry. Recognize it, welcome it, and let it drift away like a leaf on a stream. Freedom is available when attention is redirected from what confines you to what expands you. Begin with breath. Inhale fully into the belly. Exhale through the mouth, imagining the release of old limitation. With each exhale, feel invisible chains dissolving. Do this 5 times, letting the lungs fill and empty as if you are physically pushing old beliefs out and pulling in new possibilities. Notice the difference between holding a thought tightly and letting it pass through without judgment. Awareness without attachment creates space for the new, the expansive, and the unknown to enter naturally. A practical exercise is to create a belief inventory. Take a quiet moment and list 3 beliefs that feel restricted. They might be about your capabilities, your worth, or your ability to receive abundance. For each, ask whether it is absolutely true. Notice how often the mind accepts repetition as fact. Then imagine the exact opposite of that belief and write it down. For example, if the belief is "I am not creative enough," replace it with "My creativity flows freely and abundantly." Speak it aloud. Feel it in the chest. Visualize it in action. Repetition of this process trains the nervous system to accept the expansive truth as normal and natural. Notice how emotions anchor beliefs in the body. Fear, doubt, and hesitation are physical companions to limiting stories. Do not push them away. Instead, allow the body to feel them fully. Place a hand on the area of tension and breathe into it. Name the sensation, perhaps saying silently, "I see you, I release you." Visualize a golden light or a gentle wind dissolving the tension. Over time, the body learns that old patterns can exist briefly without defining the present or future. Embodied awareness accelerates transformation faster than thought alone. Understand that infinite possibilities exist at the edge of your comfort zone. Every time a familiar thought arises, challenge it gently with a question. What else could be true here? What possibility am I ignoring? How might this unfold if I choose expansion? Ask these questions while feeling the answer in the chest, in the belly, in the muscles. The quantum field responds to energy, not argument. Coherent feeling attracts unseen opportunity. The act of inquiry itself begins to loosen old limits, generating subtle shifts that ripple outward. Use sensory imagination to strengthen the new. Picture a future in which you are free from every self-imposed restriction. See yourself moving, speaking, and interacting with ease. Hear the tone of your voice as confident and alive. Feel the texture of your skin, the weight of your steps, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Taste the sweetness of possibilities opening. Smell the air of a life where choice and abundance are natural. Immersing fully in this sensory vision trains the body to inhabit new realities, creating coherence that the field cannot ignore. A simple daily ritual to release limiting beliefs is the 3-minute shake. Stand upright, close your eyes, and shake the body vigorously from the feet to the head. Let arms, hands, and shoulders follow. As you shake, imagine every limiting thought as dust leaving the skin, dissolving into the air. After 30 seconds, take a deep breath and settle into stillness. Observe the difference in energy, the openness, the readiness for new input. Repeat in the morning or whenever resistance arises. The body will remember this motion as a shortcut to liberation. Language shapes perception. Replace "I cannot" with "I choose differently." Replace "I am limited" with "I am infinite in potential." Speak these phrases aloud and let them ripple through the nervous system. Thought aligned with speech strengthens belief. Change exponentially. Pay attention to the subtle emotional resonance created when words are spoken with intention. When feeling matches speech, the field perceives coherence and begins to respond accordingly. Integration occurs in small action. Choose one tiny visible proof each day that embodies your new belief. It could be sending a clear request, completing a creative task, offering kindness without expectation, or making a choice that previously felt impossible. The visible proof does not have to be dramatic. Its power lies in consistency and alignment. Each action signals the mind and body that the expansive belief is now a lived reality. The quantum field responds to evidence, and the pattern of proof gradually rewires expectation and possibility. Notice that old stories may return unexpectedly. When they do, greet them with curiosity, not fear. Breathe into the chest, acknowledge the story, and let it pass. Each recognition without attachment weakens its grip. Over time, the field and the nervous system begin to expect expansion rather than contraction. Habitual release cultivates resilience, fluidity, and trust in the unseen. Freedom emerges not as a sudden event but as a rhythm of conscious choice. Gratitude acts as an accelerator. Daily, note at least 3 aspects of life that feel expansive, liberating, or abundant. Express them fully using emotion, breath, and visualization. Gratitude expands energetic bandwidth and primes the nervous system to notice possibility rather than limitation. Even in moments of difficulty, finding a single thread of openness strengthens the habit of liberation and signals to the quantum field that attention is coherent and expansive. Release also requires surrender to timing. Infinite possibilities exist beyond control, and insisting on outcomes too rigidly creates friction. Allow the mind to trust its own innate intelligence and the field's responsiveness. Take aligned action, feel the energy of freedom, and then step back from obsessive attachment. Life unfolds as a dance between deliberate intention and effortless allowance. Alignment occurs when effort is precise, disciplined, and emotionally coherent without strain or pushing. Visualization paired with feeling accelerates the process. Each morning, close your eyes and imagine one scenario where your limiting beliefs no longer hold sway. Embody the freedom in posture, tone, and subtle movements. Hear the conversations, see the opportunities, feel the ease. Hold this for several breaths, and let it radiate into your day. Over time, repeated practice imprints the nervous system, creating a natural expectation of limitless possibility. Ultimately, releasing limiting beliefs is not a single act, but a sustained practice of awareness, embodiment, and small visible proofs. It is a rhythm of noticing old patterns, feeling them fully, choosing expansive alternatives, and integrating these into daily life. Infinite possibilities are always available, waiting for coherent attention and aligned action. By cultivating presence, sensory immersion, and deliberate movement, the mind, body, and field synchronize to generate experiences that reflect freedom, abundance, and creative potential. Step into this practice now, not tomorrow or later. Scan the body, breathe fully, identify one limiting belief, and let it dissolve while feeling a tangible sense of openness. Speak an opposite truth aloud. Take a single aligned action immediately. End with a moment of gratitude for what is possible now. This sequence awakens a deep inner resonance that magnetizes reality toward expansive outcomes. Life begins to shift the instant coherence is chosen and embodied, releasing limitation and embracing infinite possibility in every dimension of being. Number 4. Focus your mind to magnetize desires with pure clarity. Focus now on the immense power that resides in your attention and notice how every thought you hold with clarity begins to shape reality effortlessly. The mind is not a passive observer. It is a magnet that draws experiences corresponding to the frequency of your focus. When thought is precise and combined with aligned emotion, the quantum field responds like a mirror to your inner coherence. As Bruce Lipton reminds us, Beliefs control biology, meaning that what you consistently focus on becomes the blueprint for your experience. Every mental image, every emotional undertone, every repeated thought carries energy that either attracts or disperses what you desire. Focus is not about forcing outcomes but about clarifying the signal you send to the field. Begin with stillness. Sit quietly and allow the body to relax, noticing where tension resides without judgment. With each slow inhale, draw attention to the center of the chest, imagining a light growing there, radiant and stable. Exhale slowly, letting every stray thought or scattered energy drift away like smoke. Repeat this for several cycles, until your mind feels like a calm lake, reflecting clarity without ripples. This preparation primes the nervous system to maintain attention without resistance and allows desire to form a coherent, tangible signal. A practical exercise to magnetize desire is called the laser focus visualization. Close your eyes and identify one intention you wish to bring into reality. Visualize it with as much sensory detail as possible. The textures, colors, movements, sounds, even smells associated with that reality. Imagine it unfolding in perfect timing and alignment. And most importantly, feel the corresponding emotion in your body as if it is happening now. Allow the chest to expand with satisfaction, the skin to tingle with anticipation, and the mind to settle into certainty. Hold this visualization for 3 to 5 minutes daily, and watch how subtle aligned actions naturally present themselves. The mind communicates directly with the quantum field through sustained, coherent attention and embodied feeling. Notice distractions that pull focus outward. Each external pull is a subtle test of your inner coherence. Do not judge interruptions. Simply acknowledge them, and return attention to the desired image. This act of returning strengthens the muscle of focus and reinforces the signal sent into the field. The quantum field does not differentiate between distracted thoughts and coherent visualization. Only consistent, repeated, and emotionally charged focus creates magnetic momentum. Make each redirection an intentional act of realignment, not a self-criticism. Understand that clarity is the precursor to manifestation. Vagueness produces weak signals that disperse into infinite possibilities without direction. To magnetize desire, specify the details of what you want, not as wishful thinking but as lived experience. For example, instead of thinking "I want abundance," visualize the precise form it takes, the work you do, the environment you inhabit, the emotions you feel. Let the sensory richness of this clarity anchor the signal in your body. The field responds to coherence in detail more than to abstract generalities. Focus also requires rhythm. Break attention into short, deliberate sessions throughout the day. 2 or 3 minute alignments, repeated, outperform long, sporadic efforts, because consistency trains the nervous system to recognize and sustain a coherent signal. During these micro-alignments, breathe deeply, visualize and feel the intention fully. After each session, carry the tone of focus into your next action, whether it is speaking, walking, or interacting. Every movement that flows from aligned attention amplifies the magnetism of your desire. Use language intentionally as a companion to focus. Replace uncertain phrases with declarative statements. Speak in the present tense, embodying certainty. For instance, instead of saying "I hope this happens," affirm "I am experiencing this now." Words are vibrations that reinforce mental clarity and emotional resonance. When speech, feeling, and attention converge, the field receives a concentrated signal that accelerates manifestation. Focus also thrives on sensory immersion. Engage all senses in the visualization process. Hear the sounds, see the colors, feel textures, smell the environment, and taste the satisfaction of desires fulfilled. The more the mind and body are fully immersed in the imagined reality, the more coherent the energetic signal becomes. The body begins to act as if the desire is already present, aligning behavior and intention seamlessly. This is how imagination moves into lived reality with elegance and precision. A key practice is called focus anchoring. Select a small, tangible object, a stone, a ring, a pen, and associate it with your desire. Hold it in your hand during visualization, feeling its texture and weight as a reminder of your concentrated attention. Over time, touching the object instantly returns the mind to a state of clarity and magnetism, creating a bridge between imagination and habitual alignment. Anchors like these transform ordinary items into energetic signposts that reinforce daily focus. Resist the temptation to overthink methods or timing. Manifestation occurs when attention is coherent and aligned, not when it is forced. Observe the process without anxiety or attachment, trusting that consistent focus combined with embodied feeling produces natural momentum. The quantum field does not require struggle. It responds to signal. By sustaining focus, By holding clarity without strain, desire becomes inevitable. The act of focusing itself transforms your physiology, your perception, and ultimately the environment around you. Movement is another amplifier of focused desire. Engage in subtle bodily gestures while visualizing a steady heartbeat, lifting the chest. Slow hand movements tracing the edges of imagined objects. Motion integrates intention into the body and anchors clarity in the nervous system. Each action sends a parallel signal to the field, reinforcing the coherence of your mind and emotion. Thought alone sets the stage. Embodied focus moves the performance into reality. Take time daily to review results, no matter how small. Notice instances where aligned attention has guided behavior or produced synchronicities. Acknowledge these moments as proof that clarity is magnetic. This reflection strengthens confidence, which in turn magnifies focus. Each acknowledgement acts as feedback to the system, confirming that your inner signal is both heard and effective. Recognition is part of energetic momentum, cementing the link between sustained focus and tangible manifestation. Remember that attention is a choice repeated over and over. Each time you choose clarity over distraction, you strengthen the pathway of coherence. Even micro decisions, the way you stand, the focus of your eyes, the tone of your voice, carry energy that magnetizes aligned experiences. Small consistent choices compound into transformative influence over time, establishing a natural flow between desire and realization. Incorporate moments of stillness throughout the day. Even 30 seconds of mindful attention to the desired outcome recalibrates the nervous system and reinforces magnetism. Let each pause act as a mini realignment, a reminder that clarity is available now, in every present moment. Consistency creates a rhythm that becomes habitual, a natural resonance with the field. Over time, focus transforms from effort into effortless coherence, shaping reality as a reflection of inner clarity. Ultimately, focusing the mind with pure clarity is an act of energetic precision. It requires presence, embodied feeling, sensory immersion, deliberate action, and trust in the unseen. Each breath, each visualization, each moment of anchored attention adds to a magnetic field that draws desires effortlessly. Life begins to respond with subtle opportunities, synchronicities, and aligned pathways. Because your inner coherence is no longer fragmented, the mind becomes a lens, the body a vessel, and the quantum field a willing partner in the unfolding of your focused intention. Step into this practice immediately. Breathe fully, visualize with sensory detail, anchor your attention physically, take a single aligned action, and close the session with gratitude for the clarity you hold. Each repetition strengthens your magnetism. Each moment of precise focus deepens your alignment. Over time, desire no longer feels like effort but a natural extension of your coherent embodied state. Focus is the bridge between imagination and reality, and when cultivated with discipline and feeling, it transforms life into a living expression of conscious intention. Number 5. Embody resilience and transform challenges into growth opportunities. Embody now as strength that bends without breaking, and notice how each challenge becomes a doorway rather than a wall. Resilience is not merely enduring hardship, but transforming the energy of difficulty into motion, insight, and expansion. Viktor Frankl, who survived unimaginable trials, wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Let this truth anchor in the chest as you feel the pulse of possibility running through every muscle, every nerve, every thought. Challenges are not interruptions to your life. They are invitations to discover the depth of your own capacity, to cultivate a presence that remains steady, even in the chaos of uncertainty. Begin by sensing tension in the body when a difficulty arises. Observe it fully without judgment. Allow your breath to move directly into that space, expanding with awareness. Imagine the energy of the obstacle transforming into light and motion within the body. Exhale with intention, releasing fear, resistance, or frustration. Repeat this process 3 to 5 times until the body feels lighter and more fluid. The physical release reinforces mental adaptability, teaching the nervous system that obstacles can coexist with calm, clarity, and possibility. A practical exercise for resilience is called the challenge reframe. Identify a current difficulty or recurring stressor, write it down in detail, then ask 2 questions. What is this teaching me, and how can this challenge reveal opportunity or strength? Pause and breathe while observing initial reactions. Then, imagine acting from the perspective of your highest self, responding with grace, clarity, and creativity rather than reaction. Visualize the situation resolving with learning, growth, and expanded capacity. Repeat this daily with at least 1 challenge, and notice how the nervous system begins to anticipate opportunity rather than threat. Each moment of conscious reframing strengthens resilience. Recognize that adversity amplifies awareness. Every obstacle is a mirror reflecting habitual patterns, hidden fears, and areas where attention is scattered. By facing it directly and consciously, insight arises naturally. The quantum field responds not to avoidance, but to presence and engagement. When energy is directed with focus and clarity toward transformation, the unseen begins to rearrange in harmony with coherent intention. Obstacles are data, not destiny. They contain codes for evolution if we choose to read them. Notice emotional triggers as signals rather than problems. Frustration, fear, or irritation indicate a misalignment between expectation and perception. Place your hand on the chest or stomach and breathe deeply into the area of tension. Label the emotion silently. Then imagine it melting into expansive awareness. Feel the space created in the body as new neural pathways open for resilience, resourcefulness, and adaptive response. By embodying calm and fluidity within the body, you send a coherent signal to the field that you are capable of navigating difficulty without contraction. Action is the amplifier of resilience. Choose one small step each day that faces discomfort with intention. It could be a conversation you've been avoiding, a creative risk, or a shift in routine that challenges familiarity. Take this step with awareness and breath, noticing how courage grows in the act itself. Each repeated choice strengthens the system's capacity to hold clarity under pressure. Small visible proofs accumulate into momentum, demonstrating that challenges can be converted into catalysts rather than setbacks. Language shapes the internal narrative. Replace words of limitation like "I can't" or "this is too hard" with expansive alternatives such as "I am capable" or "I learn and grow through this." Speak these affirmations aloud, while breathing and feeling the resonance in the chest. Emotional alignment amplifies the signal, turning words into energetic statements that the nervous system and the quantum field recognize. The coherence between thought, emotion, and speech creates a magnetic effect that transforms apparent obstacles into pathways. Sensory awareness deepens resilience. When confronted with difficulty, engage fully with the environment. Notice textures, light, sound, and movement. Root attention in the present moment rather than projecting into fear or regret. The body's sensory engagement anchors presence, and the field responds to this grounded coherence. Resilience emerges when the body, mind, and environment are fully attended to, each reinforcing the other in a feedback loop of adaptive capacity. A daily ritual called the Resilience Pulse trains the nervous system to transform challenge into growth. Stand with feet grounded, inhale fully, and raise the arms while imagining absorbing energy from the environment. Exhale slowly, visualizing tension and limitation flowing out and dissolving. Repeat for 3 to 5 cycles, each time consciously linking breath with intention and body awareness. End by placing hands over the heart and feeling gratitude for strength already present. Over time, this practice builds a physiological memory of calm, centered power under pressure. Trust in the unseen intelligence of the quantum field. Resilience does not require forcing outcomes or controlling circumstance. When attention is aligned with clarity and presence, even the most chaotic situations begin to reveal hidden solutions and opportunities. By observing without panic and responding with deliberate, coherent action, the field reorganizes to reflect the inner state. What initially seems impossible becomes navigable, and what appears as limitation transforms into a portal for expansion. Integration of insight into daily life is essential. After reframing a challenge, take one aligned action that reinforces the new perspective. This may be as simple as completing a task differently, initiating a conversation, or adjusting posture and tone in a demanding situation. Each action signals the system and the field that transformation is embodied and operative, creating a bridge between intention and lived reality. Visible proof consolidates learning, making resilience a tangible, habitual presence. Observe patterns across challenges. Notice recurring themes that trigger fear or contraction, and apply conscious reframing each time. Over weeks, this repeated practice rewires the nervous system to respond from coherence rather than reactivity. The process trains the mind to anticipate growth rather than limitation. Gradually, resilience becomes not just a response but a default state, a steady undercurrent of presence that persists in the face of uncertainty. Gratitude magnifies transformation. Acknowledge 3 aspects of challenge that revealed insight, opportunity, or strength each day. Express gratitude physically through breath, posture, or touch, and emotionally through heartfelt appreciation. The field recognizes coherent signal amplified by gratitude, which accelerates adaptation, clarity, and opportunity. Gratitude anchors resilience, creating a cycle of growth, learning, and magnetic alignment that continuously evolves. Recognize that every challenge is simultaneously a mirror, a teacher, and a magnet for possibility. When approached with presence, embodied feeling, and conscious action, obstacles cease to intimidate and instead become stepping stones. Momentum builds from consistent, deliberate engagement, and the nervous system begins to expect expansion rather than contraction. The quantum field responds to this expectation with opportunities, synchronicities, and alignment that seem miraculous but are merely reflections of coherent internal tone. Step into practice now. Identify a current challenge, breathe into tension, reframe it consciously. Visualize growth, take a small aligned action, and close with gratitude for learning and strength. Repeat consistently. Over time, resilience becomes natural, challenges become catalysts, and life unfolds in greater alignment with your highest potential. Each moment of conscious choice builds an inner environment of strength, clarity, and adaptability, and the outer world mirrors this coherence with opportunity, flow, and unexpected support. Embody resilience fully and immediately. Let every challenge ignite curiosity, courage, and clarity. Transform energy of difficulty into momentum for growth. Life responds to coherence, intention, and consistent practice. By living these principles daily, the body, mind, and field synchronize to magnetize solutions, reveal opportunity, and expand your capacity beyond previous limits. The act of conscious resilience itself becomes the force that transforms circumstances into platforms for evolution, making every moment a living testament to strength, presence, and the infinite possibilities of aligned action. Number 6. Visualize your highest self living fully present and empowered today. Visualize now a version of yourself unbound by limitation, and notice how the mind, body, and heart begin to align with that elevated frequency immediately. Your highest self is not a distant goal but a living presence accessible in this moment, radiating confidence, clarity, and joy. Wayne Dyer once said, "Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change." Allow this wisdom to settle in the chest, expanding perception beyond habitual thought patterns. Seeing yourself fully empowered triggers subtle shifts in posture, breath, and neural pathways that magnetize new possibilities effortlessly. When imagination is combined with embodied feeling, the quantum field recognizes and responds to the signal as if it were already real. Begin by centering in stillness. Close the eyes and take 3 deep breaths into the belly, expanding the rib cage and allowing the exhale to release tension. Feel the body as a vessel of presence, grounded in the moment, yet open to infinite expression. Sense the energy at the core of your chest growing warmer and brighter with each inhale, expanding outward like a luminous sphere of potential. Allow every inhale to carry possibility and every exhale to clear doubt, hesitation, or distraction. Presence is the foundation upon which your highest self manifests. A practical exercise is the empowered self-visualization. Imagine standing fully embodied as your highest. See posture upright yet relaxed, shoulders open, head held with gentle authority. Notice the gaze, steady, compassionate, fully attentive. Hear the tone of your voice as confident and calm, articulate and resonant. Feel the rhythm of your breath aligned with ease and vitality. Sense energy moving freely through the limbs, radiating from the core. Imagine interactions throughout the day flowing effortlessly, guided by intuition and clarity. Engage with this vision for 5 to 10 minutes daily, allowing it to saturate the nervous system with the frequency of empowerment. Notice how small physical cues amplify the visualization. Adjust posture to match the inner image. Lift the chest, soften the jaw, release tension in the shoulders. Even tiny gestures like a deliberate hand movement or the alignment of the spine while sitting communicate coherence to the body. These micro-embodiments bridge imagination and reality, signaling to the nervous system and the quantum field that the inner vision is present now. Embodied visualization is not passive, it is a dynamic rehearsal that aligns energy, thought, and action. Anchor sensory details in the practice. What does your empowered self hear, see, touch, or taste in daily interactions? How does the air feel on the skin? What rhythms emerge in walking or speaking? Allow these details to create a tangible landscape in the mind, rich with emotion and sensory texture. The quantum field responds more vividly to clarity that is both felt and observed. By engaging all senses, the visualization becomes an energetic reality that the body can inhabit and the mind can trust. Language reinforces presence. Speak affirmations in the present tense as though already true. I embody clarity and confidence. I move through my day with effortless power, or I engage fully with every moment. Combine speech with breath and feel the resonance created between voice, emotion, and thought amplifies the signal sent into the field. Repeated articulation strengthens neural pathways, establishing a habitual expectation that you are already living as your highest. Observe distractions as opportunities for redirection rather than failure. When the mind drifts to doubt, fear, or old conditioning, breathe, acknowledge, and return to the visualization. Each return strengthens focus and reinforces the coherence of your energetic signal. This practice trains the nervous system to maintain alignment, even in the presence of challenge, embedding resilience into your experience of daily life. Distraction becomes a mirror of growth rather than a barrier. Integrate micro-actions aligned with the highest self. As visualization concludes, identify one behavior to carry into the immediate day, a conversation, a decision, a creative effort that embodies the qualities you just felt. Small aligned choices create visible proof and reinforce neural expectation. Embodied practice ensures that visualization translates into lived reality rather than remaining a mental exercise. The field responds to integrated signals of attention, feeling, and action, magnifying manifestation. Movement enhances the depth of the visualization. Stand or walk while imagining your empowered self navigating the world. Let gestures and steps radiate confidence, alignment, and ease. Move as if every action is coherent with your highest frequency. Physical embodiment anchors intention into the body, establishing momentum for the nervous system and signaling to the quantum field that this state is tangible and operational. Motion integrates energy, intention, and feeling in ways that purely mental exercises cannot achieve. Reflection solidifies the practice. After each session, close the eyes for a few moments and observe subtle shifts in posture, breath, or emotion. Notice heightened awareness, calm, or clarity that may arise. Journaling one sentence about the experience deepens integration. Today I felt fully present, alive, and empowered. These reflections reinforce identity, creating a feedback loop where visualization and reality converge. Consistency over time generates a habitual embodiment of the highest self, making presence natural and effortless. Gratitude accelerates embodiment. At the conclusion of the visualization, express appreciation for the qualities already present within, for opportunities to live fully, and for the unseen support of the quantum field. Gratitude is not merely acknowledgement, it is energetic amplification. When combined with visualization, it strengthens coherence, magnifies resonance, and primes the nervous system to recognize abundance, clarity, and empowered action in daily life. Notice that living as your highest self does not require perfection. It requires attention, presence, and embodied choice. Each micro-decision, each gesture, each breath aligned with the vision contributes to a coherent signal that the field responds to naturally. Small, consistent acts accumulate into profound transformation. The process is iterative. Each moment of conscious alignment strengthens the next, creating momentum that reshapes perception, behavior, and circumstance. The quantum field responds most intensely to clarity, consistency, and emotional coherence. By visualizing your highest self with full sensory engagement, embodying the qualities physically, speaking aligned affirmations, taking micro-actions, and concluding with reflection and gratitude, you generate a magnetic field of presence. Life begins to match the inner template not because of force or wishful thinking, but because coherence is recognized and reflected in reality. Step into this practice immediately. Breathe fully, center attention, visualize with detail, embody the posture, voice, and energy of your empowered self. Take one aligned action, and close with gratitude. Repeat daily to reinforce neural expectation, energetic resonance, and habitual presence. Over time, visualization becomes lived reality, internal coherence becomes external magnetism, and your highest self emerges not as a distant aspiration, but as a natural dominant frequency of being. Living fully present and empowered today is an act of energetic commitment. Every inhale and exhale, every thought and gesture, every choice contributes to a continuous stream of manifestation. By engaging imagination, body, and emotion simultaneously, the mind aligns with possibility, the nervous system anchors presence, and the quantum field amplifies the signal. Each day becomes a canvas for your highest self, and the reality you encounter becomes a reflection of the coherent, empowered, fully present being that you consciously choose to embody. Number 7. Activate deep meditations that synchronize body, mind, and spirit. Activate now a state of deep meditation where body, mind, and spirit resonate as one, and feel the subtle energy of presence flowing through every cell. Meditation is not merely stillness, it is the conscious alignment of attention, awareness, and breath into a coherent field that communicates directly with the quantum field. As John Kabat-Zinn reminds us, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Let this principle settle in your awareness. The mind may wander, the body may resist, but awareness itself can ride the currents of life without disruption. Synchronization occurs when you notice sensation, emotion, and thought simultaneously and allow them to harmonize naturally. Begin by settling the body into a comfortable position. Feel the connection between your feet and the ground, the alignment of the spine, and the weight of your limbs. Close the eyes and inhale slowly, imagining a wave of light moving from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. Exhale fully, releasing tension, contraction, and scattered energy. Let this cycle continue for several breaths, each inhale drawing awareness inward and each exhale creating space for coherence to emerge. Physical alignment becomes the vessel in which deep meditation can unfold. A practical exercise is called the tri-level awareness meditation. Begin by focusing on the body. Scan from head to toe, noticing areas of tightness, warmth, or vibration. Breathe into these areas, expanding awareness and softening resistance. Then shift attention to the mind. Observe thoughts as they arise without judgment, allowing them to flow like clouds across a sky of consciousness. Finally, move attention to the spirit or energetic presence. Feel the subtle currents of intuition, creativity, or expansive awareness moving through the chest, hands, or crown. Maintain focus on all three layers simultaneously, letting each inform the other in a continuous loop of coherence. Notice how breath acts as the bridge between levels. Each inhalation draws body, mind, and spirit into harmony, while each exhalation releases discordant energy. Slow, deep breathing amplifies neural synchronization and strengthens parasympathetic activation, allowing meditation to penetrate more deeply. Awareness of breath anchors the practice, creating a stable point around which attention can rotate seamlessly through body, mind, and spirit. This tri-level focus generates a state of unified coherence that feels expansive, calm, and deeply alive. Sensory awareness intensifies meditation. Tune into subtle sounds, ambient temperature, or the sensation of air against the skin. Let these inputs enhance presence rather than distract. When external stimuli arise, observe them with curiosity, noting their texture and energy. Then return attention to the tri-level awareness. The nervous system begins to recognize presence as the natural state rather than reaction, and the field responds to the coherent energetic tone you cultivate. Each sensory acknowledgement strengthens the signal of alignment. Visual imagery deepens synchronization. Imagine a column of light flowing through the spine, connecting earth beneath your feet with the infinite above. See the light expanding with each breath, permeating every cell, every thought, every intention. Feel the expansion radiating outward into space, carrying the signal of coherence to the quantum field. This visualization is not separate from meditation. It amplifies embodied awareness, integrating subtle energy with tangible physiological sensation. Presence becomes not abstract but tangible and magnetic. Language and internal dialogue. Enhance practice. Use brief, aligned affirmations that resonate with body and spirit. I am present and whole. Energy flows freely through me. Or body, mind, and spirit move in harmony. Speak or think these phrases with feeling, letting the resonance vibrate through the chest and extremities. The coherence between thought, emotion, and breath creates a feedback loop that strengthens meditation and deepens connection with the field. Words become energetic anchors rather than conceptual labels. A daily ritual called 3-center activation reinforces alignment. Begin each session seated or lying comfortably. First, breathe into the lower body for grounding and stability. Second, breathe into the heart and chest for emotional coherence and openness. Third, breathe into the crown and head for clarity, insight, and spiritual attunement. Maintain awareness across all 3 centers simultaneously, noticing how they influence each other. End with a slow, full exhale, letting the 3 centers pulse together, creating a unified energetic signature that resonates throughout the day. Emotional calibration is vital. Notice subtle tones that arise: anxiety, excitement, doubt. Do not resist. Let each emotion be observed, acknowledged, and integrated into the tri-level awareness. Emotions are not obstacles but messengers that inform attention and alignment. By integrating emotional awareness into meditation, the nervous system learns to hold presence even under dynamic conditions, and the quantum field receives a signal of coherent resilience. Integration of micro-actions extends meditation into daily life. After the session, select one action that embodies the alignment you just cultivated. It might be a conscious interaction with a person, a creative effort, a moment of mindful walking, or a deliberate posture adjustment. The energetic coherence cultivated in meditation flows naturally into action, reinforcing neural pathways and signaling the field that integration is real. Small, deliberate steps magnify the effects of inner alignment exponentially. Trust is an essential component. Deep meditation requires surrender to awareness without forcing outcomes or chasing states. The quantum field responds to coherent signal, not effortful striving. By maintaining attention with patience and curiosity, the nervous system and subtle energy harmonize naturally. Results emerge not as a goal but as the natural consequence of consistent alignment. Each session compounds the effect, creating long-term shifts in perception, energy and experience. Observe habitual patterns of distraction as invitations rather than obstacles. Each time the mind wanders, pause, breathe, and return to tri-level awareness. The act of returning strengthens the ability to maintain coherence under changing circumstances. Over time, presence becomes automatic, and meditation evolves from a practice into a natural state of being. Obstacles become opportunities for refinement rather than disruption. Gratitude enhances synchronization. At the conclusion of meditation, acknowledge the body, mind, and spirit for their cooperation. Feel appreciation for the ability to cultivate presence, for the clarity gained, and for the unseen forces that support alignment. Gratitude amplifies coherence, consolidates energetic shifts, and primes the nervous system to maintain state beyond the session. Each expression of appreciation strengthens resonance and magnetizes further integration. Step into this practice immediately. Settle the body, breathe fully, scan body, mind, and spirit, engage sensory awareness, visualize light and coherence, articulate aligned affirmations, maintain tri-level focus, integrate emotion, anchor micro-actions, and close with gratitude. Repeat consistently. Over time, meditation deepens, alignment becomes habitual, and body, mind, and spirit synchronize naturally. The nervous system learns coherence as default, perception sharpens, and the quantum field responds with opportunity, clarity, and flow. Deep meditation is not an escape, but a portal. Each session is a rehearsal for life lived fully, aligned and present. By consistently cultivating awareness across body, mind, and spirit, you generate an internal coherence that radiates outward, influencing environment, behavior, and experience. Momentum builds from attention, breath, visualization, emotional integration, and gratitude. Life itself becomes a reflection of alignment, and the quantum field amplifies every subtle signal of coherence into tangible transformation. Let each inhale carry integration, each exhale release discord, each moment of awareness deepen connection, and each action reinforce alignment. Body, mind, and spirit pulse together as one coherent system, and your life begins to reflect the frequency of full alignment, presence, and empowered flow. Each session compounds previous work, creating a rhythm of conscious living that magnetizes opportunity, clarity, and profound manifestation beyond expectation. Number 8. Integrate daily rituals that expand consciousness and spark joy. Integrate now simple daily rituals that ignite consciousness and spark joy within every cell of your being, and notice how life begins to ripple with energy and possibility. Rituals are not habits of repetition alone. They are intentional acts that train attention, anchor presence, and amplify vibration in alignment with the quantum field. Deepak Chopra reminds us, in the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. Allow this insight to guide your awareness as you create practices that honor body, mind, and spirit simultaneously. Every consistent action sends a coherent signal into the field, transforming ordinary routines into catalysts for expanded consciousness. Begin by identifying moments in your day where presence is possible, even briefly, and designate them as your ritual anchors. These could be the first moments upon waking, a pause before meals, a few breaths before work, or a conscious reflection at night. Each pause is an invitation to bring awareness fully into the moment, shifting the nervous system from automatic reaction to deliberate resonance. Even micro-rituals carry immense power when performed with intention, focus, and emotional engagement. A practical exercise is the 5-minute alignment ritual. Sit quietly and inhale fully, visualizing a radiant light entering the body. Let it fill every organ, every muscle, every nerve with warmth, clarity, and vitality. Exhale slowly, releasing tension, resistance, or mental clutter. Repeat 5 times while silently affirming, I am aligned, present, and open to joy. Follow this by identifying one joyful intention for the day, imagining it unfolding vividly with sensory richness. By committing this ritual daily, the body and mind learn to recognize presence and joy as habitual states, rather than sporadic occurrences. Notice how ritual enhances sensory awareness. Engage fully with taste, touch, sight, sound, and smell during each practice. Pour attention into the sensation of morning water on the skin, the warmth of tea or coffee, the aroma of fresh air, the texture of an object held in hand. Immersion in sensory experience magnifies consciousness and draws the mind into the present moment. The quantum field responds most strongly to attention that is coherent, embodied, and emotionally vibrant. Rituals amplify this alignment by repeatedly directing focus toward expanded states. Movement is a potent form of daily ritual. Gentle stretches, yoga sequences, or mindful walking synchronize body and mind while generating energy flow. Each gesture becomes an energetic signature of presence and coherence. Feel the muscles engage with awareness, the spine elongate, the feet grounding with each step. Motion transforms abstract intention into tangible experience, and repeated daily practice trains the nervous system to expect alignment, joy, and fluidity as natural conditions. Language reinforces ritual potency. Speak intentions or affirmations aloud or silently with feeling and clarity. Words carry vibration. When synchronized with breath, attention, and emotion, they amplify the energetic signal projected into the field. Choose simple phrases such as, I open to joy, I expand with consciousness, or I am fully present now. Speak with deliberate cadence and resonance, letting the sound ripple through the body. Over time, the nervous system responds to these vibrational cues by creating alignment as a default state. Integration requires observation. Notice patterns in your thoughts, energy, and behavior throughout the day. Ritual is not complete until awareness of subtle shifts is incorporated. Journaling a brief sentence or two about insights, sensations, or moments of alignment strengthens neuroplasticity and reinforces coherence. Reflection anchors the energetic and conscious shifts into lived experience, ensuring that practice extends beyond isolated moments into holistic habitual expansion. Emotional calibration is key. Daily rituals should include acknowledgement and release of emotion. Breathe into feelings, notice where they reside in the body, and visualize tension dissolving into light or flowing away. Allow gratitude, delight, or excitement to fill the vacated space. Emotional engagement is what transforms ritual from routine into transformative practice. Joy, when paired with presence and embodiment, generates a coherent signal that aligns mind, body, and field simultaneously. Visualization is ritual depth. Imagine scenarios where alignment, creativity, and joy are fully expressed in daily life. Engage all senses, hear conversations, feel textures, see colors, taste abundance, and sense the rhythm of empowered movement. This immersive approach converts abstract possibility into tangible energetic pattern. When visualized repeatedly and integrated with sensory experience, the nervous system and quantum field begin to treat these states as natural and familiar. Anchor rituals with tangible objects or symbolic gesture. A stone, a candle, or even a hand gesture can act as a cue to center attention and embody alignment. Touch or focus on the object while performing the ritual to create a neural and energetic shortcut to presence. Over time, the object itself triggers coherence and joy instantly, bridging imagination, action, and field resonance in a single moment. Anchors transform ordinary items into potent reminders of alignment. Trust the process of ritualization. Alignment, consciousness, and joy emerge not through force but through consistency, attention, and engagement. Perform rituals without expectation, allowing the nervous system and subtle energy to integrate shifts organically. Each repetition compounds the effect, and the quantum field responds to persistent, coherent, and emotionally vibrant signals with opportunities, synchronicities, and expanded perception. Patience combined with deliberate action produces results that feel effortless yet profound. Integration of micro-actions amplifies effect. After completing a ritual, carry its energy into daily activity. Speak, move, and act with awareness, letting the tone, focus, and joy cultivated in ritual extend into every encounter. Each conscious application strengthens alignment, creating evidence of coherence in lived reality. Small deliberate behaviors amplify the energetic signature of ritual, producing a compounding effect that accelerates transformation and expands consciousness continuously. Observe how ritual shapes perception over time. Moments that once felt mundane or stressful begin to carry vibrational opportunity. The body, mind, and spirit learn to expect coherence, attention, and joy as default states. Patterns of distraction, tension, or limitation diminish as habitual alignment becomes reinforced. The nervous system and field respond in harmony, and life reflects the inner rhythm of consistent, intentional, and conscious practice. Gratitude closes and magnifies the practice. Acknowledge the space created, the energy cultivated, and the alignment achieved. Feel appreciation for the opportunity to engage fully with body, mind, and spirit, and for the unseen mechanisms of the field responding to coherence. Gratitude enhances resonance, consolidates shifts, and strengthens the nervous system's expectation of joy, flow, and conscious presence as continuous condition. Step into this practice immediately. Select a brief daily window. Engage in breath, sensory immersion, movement, visualization, affirmation, and gratitude. Anchor with an object or gesture. Observe shifts, and integrate micro-actions throughout the day. Repeat consistently. Over weeks, rituals build habitual presence, amplify consciousness, and magnetize joy effortlessly. Ordinary life becomes charged with energy, clarity, and vitality. The field mirrors coherent attention, emotional resonance, and deliberate action, with expanded possibility, synchronicity, and alignment beyond prior expectation. Living with integrated daily rituals transforms perception, energy, and experience. Each repetition strengthens neural pathways, cultivates embodied alignment, and creates a resonance that radiates into every interaction. The body, mind, and spirit synchronize to maintain coherence. Natural presence becomes habitual, joy flows effortlessly, and consciousness expands continuously. Ritual is not a task, it is a sacred dialogue with self and field, a method for turning each day into an ongoing experience of expansion, vitality, and magnetic alignment. Activate this practice now, and commit fully. Breathe, engage, visualize, affirm, move, observe, anchor, integrate, and express gratitude. Let each step compound the previous, embedding coherence into the nervous system and field. Over time, your daily life becomes a living ritual of presence, joy, and conscious expansion. Each act, repeated and intentional, transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences, shaping reality to reflect the alignment, consciousness, and vibrancy cultivated consistently within. Number 9. Trust the quantum field to deliver miracles beyond expectation. Trust fully in the quantum field and notice how possibilities beyond imagination begin to flow effortlessly into your life as you release control and embrace certainty. The field responds not to struggle or effort, but to coherence, clarity, and embodied expectation. As Deepak Chopra reminds us, what you pay attention to grows. Let this truth resonate deeply in the chest as you cultivate unwavering trust that the unseen intelligence of the universe is actively orchestrating your desires into manifestation. Miracles are not random. They are the natural reflection of aligned attention, meeting infinite potential. Begin by settling into stillness and feeling the body supported, grounded, and expansive. Close the eyes and breathe slowly, letting each inhale draw awareness into the present moment, and each exhale release tension, worry, or doubt. Sense the subtle energy of life circulating through the body, moving freely and effortlessly. Allow your nervous system to settle into a state of receptivity where the mind stops resisting outcomes and the heart opens fully to infinite possibility. This state of trust is the fertile soil in which miraculous alignment grows. A practical exercise is called the quantum trust alignment. Identify one desire or intention and hold it clearly in mind. Visualize it unfolding exactly as you wish, allowing every detail to be rich with sensory experience. See the outcome as already present, hear the sounds, notice the colors, feel the textures, and sense the joy and satisfaction as though it is happening now. As you maintain this visualization, consciously release attachment to how or when it will manifest, letting the field orchestrate timing, synchronicities, and circumstances. This act of conscious surrender signals trust and allows the universe to act without interference. Notice resistance that arises in subtle forms, thoughts of doubt, impatience, or fear of failure. Do not judge these sensations. Observe them as indicators of attachment to outcome, rather than presence. Breathe into each tension point, allowing energy to expand and dissolve restriction. Feel the heart soften and the mind relax as trust deepens. Each cycle of awareness and release strengthens coherence and communicates to the quantum field that you are aligned with the natural flow of abundance. Language shapes internal trust. Replace uncertain statements like "I hope" or "I wish" with affirmations grounded in certainty. I am open and receptive to miracles. I trust life to deliver exactly what I need, or the universe is orchestrating perfect outcomes for me now. Speak these words with resonance and embodied conviction. Emotion amplifies signal. Coherence between thought, speech, and feeling produces an energetic pattern that magnetizes opportunities, resources, and aligns circumstances without struggle or force. Sensory awareness anchors trust in the present. Feel the sensation of air moving across skin, the weight of the body supported by the ground, the rhythm of the breath, and the subtle pulse of energy within. By tuning into the body and immediate environment, trust becomes an embodied experience, rather than an abstract idea. The field responds more readily to energy carried through body and nervous system than to purely conceptual thought. Physical presence amplifies alignment with unseen intelligence. Integration requires micro-actions, consistent with trust. Take one step each day that reflects openness to possibility. A conversation, a creative act, a gesture of kindness, or a decision aligned with intuition. These actions, small yet deliberate, demonstrate faith in the unseen, reinforcing neural patterns of trust and coherence. Life mirrors these choices, producing evidence that the field is responsive, and miracles are unfolding naturally. Microactions transform abstract trust into tangible momentum. Visualization deepens trust further when anchored with emotion. Imagine a radiant light surrounding you, representing the infinite intelligence of the universe. See it moving in perfect rhythm with your desires, connecting internal intention to external manifestation. Feel the warmth, expansiveness, and certainty of this connection permeating the body. Let emotions saturate the image: joy, anticipation, gratitude, and confidence. The combination of clarity, sensory richness, and emotional resonance sends an amplified signal to the field that trust is fully embodied. Observe how patience and timing amplify alignment. Miracles rarely unfold under force or expectation. By maintaining coherent attention on intention while remaining unattached to timing or method, energy flows effortlessly. The field orchestrates conditions beyond imagination, revealing synchronicities, insights, and opportunities that appear miraculous because they exceed linear expectation. Trust is not passive. It is active engagement with presence, clarity, and surrender simultaneously. Gratitude reinforces the trust signal. At the conclusion of practice, express appreciation for guidance, unseen support, and the unfolding of possibility. Feel gratitude as a physical sensation moving through the chest, radiating outward, and anchoring the nervous system in coherence. Gratitude amplifies receptivity and strengthens the energetic resonance that accelerates manifestation. Each expression of appreciation compounds trust, creating a feedback loop between internal alignment and external reflection. Notice recurring patterns of doubt as invitations for deeper surrender. When impatience, skepticism, or resistance appears, breathe into the sensation, acknowledge it without judgment, and return focus to the clear vision of desired manifestation. Repetition of conscious realignment trains the nervous system to hold coherence even under uncertainty. Each return to trust strengthens magnetic momentum, creating conditions for miracles to emerge naturally and consistently. Anchoring with ritual magnifies results. Light a candle, touch a stone, or adopt a simple gesture each time the practice is performed. These anchors act as energetic triggers, reminding the mind and body to return to trust instantaneously. Over time, the object or gesture becomes a doorway to coherence, presence, and receptivity, enhancing alignment with the quantum field without conscious effort. Anchors accelerate habituation of trust and embody faith in the unseen. Movement integrates trust into the body. Gentle stretching, walking, or breath-coordinated motion connects intention with physical energy. Let the body pulse with awareness, each movement an expression of openness and alignment. Embodied trust communicates directly with the field and reinforces the nervous system's expectation of positive outcomes. Motion ensures that trust is not abstract but integrated holistically into body, mind, and subtle energy. Observe synchronicities and subtle signs as proof of alignment. Small coincidences, timely encounters, or intuitive insights are evidence that trust is recognized and amplified by the field. Recognizing these manifestations reinforces confidence, deepens faith, and strengthens the neural and energetic pattern of expectation. Miracles often appear first as subtle signals before expanding into visible reality. Awareness of these cues ensures momentum remains coherent and aligned. Step into this practice immediately. Breathe fully. Visualize desire with sensory richness. Release attachment to timing or method. Embody trust physically. Take one aligned micro-action. And close with gratitude. Repeat consistently. Over time, miracles manifest effortlessly. Trust becomes habitual, and life unfolds with intelligence beyond imagination. The nervous system, body and energy field align in harmony, amplifying the probability of extraordinary outcome. Each moment of conscious trust reinforces coherence, opening pathways for possibilities previously unseen or unimaginable. Living fully in trust transforms perception, energy, and reality. Each inhale, exhale, thought and gesture aligned with expectation generates a magnetic resonance that attracts favorable circumstances and opportunities. Patience, consistency, and embodied awareness allow miracles to unfold naturally. The quantum field mirrors coherence, releasing abundance, insights, and aligns synchronicities beyond what linear thinking could predict. Trust is the portal through which infinite potential becomes tangible, and life becomes an ongoing reflection of alignment, clarity, and effortless manifestation. Number 10. Manifest continuous evolution through inspired action and conscious presence. Manifest now a continuous evolution by merging inspired action with conscious presence and feel life expanding in every moment as you move with intention. Evolution is not a distant goal but an ongoing dance between awareness and deliberate choice. As Bruce Lipton explains, when you change the way you think, you change the way you live. Let this insight resonate in the body, activating neural pathways that link thought, feeling, and action into coherent streams of transformation. Each step taken with clarity becomes a signal to the quantum field, inviting opportunities, growth, and synchronicities that align with your highest trajectory. Begin by centering in the present moment. Close your eyes and feel the weight of the body grounding into the surface beneath. Breathe slowly and deeply, noticing the rise and fall of the chest and the subtle sensations of energy moving through the limbs. Let attention expand outward, perceiving surroundings with curiosity and clarity. Conscious presence is the fertile ground from which inspired action emerges effortlessly. By cultivating awareness first, each movement becomes intentional, coherent, and aligned with evolution rather than reactive habit. A practical exercise is the aligned action pull. Identify one area in life where growth is desired, and one small action that reflects inspired intention. Visualize the outcome of this action unfolding with sensory richness. Hear the sounds, feel textures, sense the emotional tone, and imagine the ripple effects on your environment. Take the action immediately, maintaining awareness of every sensation, thought, and emotion. Observe how inspired steps, when taken with conscious presence, magnify impact far beyond their size. Repeat daily to train the nervous system to operate in alignment with continuous evolution. Notice resistance as a guide rather than a barrier. Thoughts of doubt, hesitation, or fear often signal attachment to old patterns rather than true limitation. Breathe into these sensations, allowing energy to expand and soften tension. By observing rather than reacting, the nervous system learns flexibility and adaptability. Each moment of conscious engagement reinforces coherence and communicates to the field that evolution is desired and expected. Resistance becomes information, not an obstacle, accelerating learning and growth. Language reinforces alignment. Use present tense affirmations that integrate intention, presence, and action. Say, I move with clarity and inspired intention. I evolve naturally and continuously. Or every step I take magnifies my highest potential. Speak with conviction, feeling the vibration resonate in the chest, spine, and extremity. Coherence between thought, speech, and sensation amplifies the signal projected into the quantum field, attracting conditions, resources, and synchronicities aligned with evolution. Words become energetic catalysts when fully embodied. Sensory engagement deepens manifestation. Feel the texture of objects you touch, the temperature of the air, the rhythm of movement, and the subtle currents of energy within. Grounding attention in sensation anchors conscious presence and magnifies awareness of inspiration. The nervous system begins to anticipate evolution rather than repetition, and the field responds to coherent, embodied energy with proportional alignment. Sensory integration transforms abstract intention into tangible reality. Visualization intensifies continuous evolution. Picture yourself one step ahead, embodying growth, vitality, and clarity in action. Engage all senses in this vision. Hear sounds, feel textures, Notice colors and sense the emotional resonance. Imagine interactions flowing effortlessly, creativity expanding, and challenges transforming into opportunities. Visualization is not passive. It programs the nervous system to act in coherence with desired evolution, turning possibility into lived experience. Movement integrates awareness and action seamlessly. Gentle stretches, walking, or intentional gestures convert thought and intention into embodied energy. Each movement communicates with the nervous system, body, and subtle energy, reinforcing alignment and signaling the field that evolution is active. Embodied action creates momentum, training the system to recognize and respond to inspired steps as natural extensions of conscious presence. Motion bridges imagination, attention, and manifestation. Integration requires reflection. After each inspired action, pause to observe subtle shifts in perception, energy, or emotional tone. Note how the environment responds, how the nervous system adapts, and how clarity evolves. Journaling brief reflections deepens neural encoding and reinforces energetic patterns. Awareness of change ensures that evolution is continuous rather than sporadic, creating feedback loops that amplify learning, adaptation, and growth. Emotional calibration is essential. Observe feelings arising during action: excitement, fear, curiosity, or joy. Do not suppress or judge. Allow energy to circulate freely and integrate fully. Emotion fuels manifestation by embedding intention into bodily experience and signaling coherence to the quantum field. Inspired action, combined with present moment awareness and emotional alignment, generates a powerful, energetic signature that accelerates evolution beyond expectation. Micro-actions compound over time. Each deliberate step taken with presence magnifies cumulative impact. With clarity, act with intention, respond with insight, and notice subtle outcomes multiplying. Small, consistent choices establish habitual alignment, producing visible proof of internal coherence. Momentum develops as each action reinforces the next, creating a self-sustaining cycle of conscious evolution. Continuous refinement and integration magnify the effects of even modest efforts. Trust in the intelligence of the quantum field. Evolution unfolds in alignment with presence and coherent action, not through control or force. When attention, intention, and emotion harmonize with deliberate steps, opportunities emerge, insights arise, and circumstances shift in support of growth. Surrender to this intelligence does not mean passivity. It requires active, inspired participation while allowing unseen mechanisms to orchestrate outcomes beyond imagination. Trust transforms uncertainty into expansive potential. Gratitude anchors and amplifies manifestation. Express appreciation for the capacity to act consciously, for subtle shifts in awareness, and for every sign of evolution in your life. Feel gratitude physically, through breath, posture, and energy, letting it radiate through the body. Gratitude enhances coherence, reinforces neural patterns of alignment, and magnifies receptivity to further growth. Each expression of appreciation accelerates manifestation and sustains momentum for continuous evolution. Observe patterns of growth and resistance over time. Notice recurring tendencies that accelerate evolution and habits that hinder it. Apply conscious choice to reinforce alignment, expand attention, and cultivate inspired action. The nervous system and subtle energy learn to expect progress and coherence, transforming potential into tangible manifestation. Evolution becomes a lived, ongoing reality rather than a distant aspiration. Step into practice now. Breathe deeply. Center attention. Visualize inspired action. Move with presence. Integrate emotion. Take aligned steps. Observe results. And express gratitude. Repeat daily over weeks. Nervous system, mind, and energy fields synchronize in habitual coherence, creating continuous evolution. Every moment becomes an opportunity to act consciously, embody alignment, and expand capacity. Life begins to mirror intentional presence, and outcomes reflect the quality, focus, and inspiration of each aligned step. Living in conscious evolution transforms perception, energy, and reality. Every thought, breath, and action, aligned with clarity and intention, generates magnetic resonance that attracts resources, opportunities, and synchronicities. Patterns of growth become self-reinforcing, and the field mirrors the coherence cultivated with inspired action. Anchored in presence becomes a constant stream of transformation, where challenges convert into insight, obstacles become catalysts, and every moment carries the potential for expansion. Continuous evolution becomes not an abstract goal but the natural, habitual expression of a coherent, fully present and inspired being. You have now unlocked the gateway to quantum mastery through these 10 transformative chapters, each a powerful practice that rewires perception and magnetizes reality. Begin daily by awakening your inner power, aligning thought and emotion with abundant flow, and releasing the limiting beliefs that quietly sabotage your potential. Focus your mind with clarity to attract desires, embody resilience in every challenge, and visualize your highest self fully present and empowered. Activate deep meditations that synchronize body, mind, and spirit, integrate rituals that spark joy, and trust the unseen intelligence of the quantum field to deliver miracles. Finally, manifest continuous evolution through inspired action anchored in conscious presence. Apply each practice consistently, layering them to create unstoppable momentum that rewires the subconscious and amplifies your energy. Darkness in the mind can be harnessed to fuel transformation when guided by these principles. Subscribe now to access the next crucial audiobook where even deeper quantum secrets will unfold, shaping reality faster than ever.